Okay, guys, we're back with another episode of PFREI, a passion for real estate investing. I'm your host, Fuquan Bilal, and we're back with another great episode. Today, I have a special guest, Matt Smith from Greenleaf Money. So Matt is the first guest that we had here that specializes in financing for real estate investors. They started off traditionally years ago, giving loans to real estate investors, and then they moved over to the cannabis industry, financing investors or people to grow houses and everything else. Now he's actually here today looking for real estate investors to do private loans to or hard money loans to. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and the programs he have available. But I'm excited to have him here today because it's a different twist in what he does within the real estate market. So let's get right into it. I know before the show we was chopping it up a bit and you was talking about your passion and you've been doing this for 20 years. What got you started and how did you get started in the finance space and what made you guys go crazy and start financing people in the marijuana industry?
Actually, I got a phone call one day, just kind of bringing me into this side of the industry. I've been cultivating extractor for 20 years and they said, hey, you'd be great at talking to the people that are looking for funding in this space, and just kind of the rest is history. It took off very fast from there.
Oh, wow. So with the cannabis, we know that that's a big thing now. There's a lot of funds that are raising capital for grow houses and everything else. When you guys shifted from giving loans to regular real estate investors to the cannabis industry, let's talk about that a little bit. That's really growing in the marketplace. A lot of states are making it, medicinal purpose, legal, and recreational purpose legal. What is it in California? Is it recreational or medicinal or both?
They have both.
They have both. All right. And that's been in since how long?
Medicinal's been around for over 15 years. The recreational has just been within the past few years. So
when you guys set up financing for these grow houses, like what is the criteria that when you guys moved to that? And why did you guys move to that? Did you see like a big, I'm assuming a profitability because it was the regulations changed and it was still new in the industry and there's tons and tons of profit being generated from that. So, let's talk about that a little bit. Like how do you guys set up financing for those grow houses?
As
far as like when they, come to you guys for financing to get started with the process and pretty much go from there. Is it just a traditional loan that you give them with some type of terms and rates?
Sure, yeah.
Let's talk about that.
We do 3 to 5 year term loans with no prepay penalty. We're also able to get credit cards from the banks because we understand stacking and how to put in those applications in a certain order to get the most out of the banks. That makes sense. Okay.
Now, when it comes to the financing for real estate investors, I know we were talking about some programs that you have. Let's talk about that a little bit. So if I'm an investor and I basically want to buy something to fix and flip or buy and hold, how do I come to you for the application process? Is it a certain FICO score that I need to have? I know you said the loans are from 100 to 300,000. Is it a certain FICO score to have? What is the underwriting process for that?
We go off individual credit.
Okay.
Usually we go off a Credit Karma report. It's really easy. People don't have one that they use. We use that one.
Wow, Credit Karma.
Yeah, and unfortunately I don't get paid for as much as I advertise them.
Yeah.
But it's free, easy to use, and it's easy for our clients to walk through. Our intake process is super simple. On greenleafmoney.com, it actually has a 4-step process intake form. And then it also has a broker form as well for people that want to refer business. So we keep it very, very simple.
Wow. So let's walk through the process. I want a loan. I meet with you. You consult with me. You explain the terms. I go to the website. Go ahead. Give me the waterfall of the process if I wanted to get a loan.
So you went ahead. You did the intake. I would ask for your Credit Karma next so we can go ahead and take a look at your credit history and see where you're at. If everything is good from there, you have a score over 700, everything lines up, then it takes about 10 to 20 business days and the money's in your account.
So when you say everything lines up, the automation on the site, what documents is it asking me for? Is it asking me for pay stubs, bank statements?
We usually ask for the last 30 days of pay stubs. We ask for the last 6 months of bank statements and W-2s if you have them.
Okay.
Because we do work in a very niche space and it is very special. Of course, we have some unique and creative ways to work with that process. For people that may not have W-2s or other things yet, we still work with everybody in the space.
Okay, so wow, Credit Karma, if you don't have W-2s, they still work with you. This is great. So let's jump right more into it. So understanding, can I take this loan in an LLC or is it in a personal name? How does that work?
This
out?
one is an individual loan.
Okay.
We do have referral partners that we work with. I won't get into that, but we just do individual. It's a lot easier to stack up to $300K for that person. Most people usually have multiple partners that are going in for multiple, so we'll stack per partner.
Okay.
And then that also gives them the ability to stretch it out so they don't have to use all the funding at once. Maybe they need it down the line. Now they have partners that they can stack as they need it.
And these are unsecured lines of credit?
Correct.
Now, will it go on the credit? Like if I apply for a loan, will this show one of my trade lines of my credit?
We do have trade lines of credit. That's because it's the cannabis space, we understand that you need capital and you also need cards. Certain things you can't put on cards. It is still a very much cash flow business.
Okay. So when you get the loan, is it a card you get that then you can get a cash advance, or is it just a line of credit like a bank account that's set up and the money get funded?
We have a line of credit. So like usually everybody that works with us, we get them an Amex card just because it's a great business relationship to have. Okay. We also help people build their credit that way. We have credit repair that we send them to. They're not up to par that way. Most of the cards that we get are financed 0% for the first year, which is really nice. And then the term loans, like I said, are usually 3 to 5 year, but no prepay penalty. And the reason for that is because in this specific space for cannabis, you're usually on the plus side of your money 6 months to a year if you're doing things properly. So most people don't want the 5-year term to pay off. They want to pay it off early, no prepay penalty.
So the waterfall basically is if they qualify, you set them up for the car and the term loan, or either or, both of them?
We can do one or the other. We like to do both.
Okay.
Because we understand that you need both in order to operate. 15 years ago, nobody needed credit. I can't tell you how many cultivators and extractors are begging on how to fix their credit because they realize as everything has changed, you need credit to operate.
You definitely need it. Dealing with the banks and everything else. So, very interesting. So, what type of fees are charged for setting up these lines and or getting the cards? Is it based in the interest that you guys are charging later on down the line, or is it like an application fee up front, or how that process works?
We have an 8 to 10% success fee.
Okay.
Flat out, we're very open about it. The industry standard is between 10 and 16%. We think anything over 10 is just ridiculous. So we have 8 to 10.
So it's 8 to 10% of whatever they get qualified or approved for. So Correct. You get them a line for $100,000, you get $8,000 to $10,000 success fee. That comes automatically out of the line, and then they get the balance into their account.
Correct, and they usually have creative ways. I won't get into that, but they can contact us. There's creative ways that we put that on there and work with everybody because, as I'm sure you can imagine, it's very, very unique, and we can deal with all sorts of people. People that actually have really good credit and know what they're doing. Other people that are just starting and have no idea what they're doing.
So the credit repair thing is interesting because the entry point is 700 scores and above. If somebody comes in with like a 620, 640, then you guys put them through the credit repair program to get them up to that. Now, is there a cost for that, and how long does it take to kind of get them over the hurdle?
That depends. We have ones that are easy fixes within 30 days. We have ones that will take 2 to 6 months. We have some that will take a year. It depends on how bad the ex-wife messed things up for the person, so to speak. No, there's a lot of different situations though where people have had just, little things here or there and they just need it fixed. It can range anywhere. With the credit repair, it usually is, a couple hundred to a couple grand, depending on how many things you need removed. You can remove it faster. Of course, it costs more, but if you need it removed a lot faster, you could just pay more and get that removed, and then we can get you the money. And if I were to tell you, hey, pay $2,000 to remove 3 things off your credit, I can give you $100,000.
Yeah, but that's amazing. I mean, it's rare that you find, people in the industry that is willing to, have programs like that, and Lynn on the cannabis side and also on the real estate investing side. So talk about a little bit about why are you passionate about the space you're in? I know it's helping people add value to other people, but let's tell the audience, what's your passion for what you do?
I've been cultivating and extracting for over 20 years. And so this has always been my passion. I've always been on the crazier side of things. The financing just makes more sense now, and it makes more sense to do the more sane thing with the crazy business.
Awesome. Yeah, man, I like what you're doing, and definitely is a value add to people here at this event. And I see a lot of potential. You're coming and you're marketing what you're doing, and it's definitely a value add to the community. So I thank you guys for tuning in. We got another great episode, Matt Smith. This is really good. So let's do this now. You could basically leave your information so we can tell the audience, how to get in contact with you and promote your website or
Absolutely.
some type of contact information. I think this is a great resource for you guys who may need some credit repair, or if you have a 700 score or better, if you need the extra financing for your business, to kind of take you a long way if you're doing fix and flips, if you're doing buy and hold, if you're looking to buy notes. A lot of people always come to me and ask me, is there financing for notes? So this is a great opportunity for you to get a loan and, buy some notes and create some type of arbitrage situation. One other question I had before we end it off is, you mentioned it's 0% for the first year, for the first 6 months, or 0% for the second. Talk about that again, because I want the audience to know when is the cost basically kicks in after you get your 8 to 10% success fee, and then they get the money if it goes longer than a year. What those terms look like?
That depends on the person's credit.
Okay.
It can be anywhere from 6.99% all the way to 20%, depending on how good or bad the credit is.
Yeah.
Once again, it's on a sliding scale depending on if you pick a 3-year or 5-year. But once again, there's that no prepay penalty. So usually people are paying it off within the first year and just done.
Yeah, because 20% is definitely a motivator to get it paid quickly.
That's the cool thing is cannabis is also one of the few spaces that you're actually making that money back within a year's time. No other business, I can tell you, you make your money back a year or 2 years, and you're on the plus side making a killing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So even if you actually are using this to buy notes actually will give you the opportunity too. Especially if you're buying the non-judicial states and it's faster foreclosure, or if you're selling those assets to kind of make those type of yields to pay that. So this is a great addition to PFREI because now we got some financing to tell you guys how to really find financing for your note investing and your fix and flip. So thanks, Matt, for coming on and being a part of the show. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, another great episode. Fuquan Bilal, PFREI. Be sure to like us on Facebook, view us on YouTube, see us on Instagram and Twitter. A passion, the number 4 REI.